From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, sponsored by Resort Stay International, Salvation Army, Smith's Food and Drug, George L. Stewart for insurance you don't have to die to collect, and Tony May, attorney at law. My goodness, we have a really full house this morning. And to my left, I've got Johnny Stewart, Legends in Concert, creator, founder, and producer. My gosh, good morning, Johnny. How are you?
Sandy.
Oh, we got to get you
We're
right
going to
on
have
the
a great
microphone.
show today. We're going to have a great show today.
And somebody's cutting in and out. I don't know if it's me or my microphone or my headphones or what. Okay, and then on the other end, we've got Chef Michael, otherwise known as the storm that can't be stopped, Michael Leonetti.
Yay! Where's my crowd? Let me hear the crowd.
That's just your family around the line.
I feel like I'm in an AA meeting here. What the hell's going on here? All right.
And right next to Michael, we have Walter Crutchfield, the last of the Mohicans. I don't know what that means, Michael.
Walter Crutchfield, I go back a long time. You know, when Vegas was Vegas, back in the 30s and 40s, he's the last guy with the Benny Binions and the Mo Dalitzes, and this guy here is...
He's connected.
I don't know about being... No,
Disconnect.
he's
Oh, disconnected.
All of a sudden, there's a New Jersey accent.
What's that? No. Walter Crutchfield, I mean, this guy is a true entrepreneurial... what he donated to charity, I couldn't even tell you. Sinatra was that way. He's the same way. With this guy, and we got a lot to talk about. This guy is one of the best, and it's such a pleasure to have him on. I know we didn't give you any bio on it, Sam.
No, that's
You know what I
okay.
mean?
That's
But
okay. I
Walter's-
know he's a
Walter's
legend,
he's a
but I just
legend.
didn't know
Let me say
exactly
this. He
how.
can buy the Mirage right now and cut a check in full, and I'll leave it at that.
Wow.
Well, welcome, Walter. Welcome,
Wow.
Walter.
Trust me.
It's great to have you here today. Also, sitting next to him, we have Majestic Magnificent. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Wow.
How you doing this morning? Thank you for having me.
I'm great, and I understand that you have a lot to do with the Michael Jackson family.
Oh, yeah, 32 years.
Yeah, representing them and all kinds of
All
things that
kind
they're
of stuff.
doing.
Yeah, I'm a spokesperson, yeah.
Well-
you know, he don't like to talk, so I go on the talk shows and talk.
Well, I know there's a lot that they're doing, to keep his name alive, and a lot of shows that
Absolutely.
are out there that
Absolutely.
are, tribute
Absolutely.
shows to him. And of course, he was a legend, and he will always
Absolutely.
remain that way, So I
Absolutely.
want to welcome you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having
coming.
me.
Yes. And sitting next to him, we have Rob Garrett, Neil Diamond, tribute artist.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
I know you've got
For
a lot of
this hour of
shows
the morning,
coming
I'm
up.
okay.
I know when I told him 9 a.m., he said, a.m.?
That's exactly what I said.
I know. Half the people in this room are up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, as entertainers, we don't do well in the morning with mornings. So.
I do great. in the
Here,
morning.
here.
Well, Michael-
You're a
exactly.
chef.
That's because you never go to sleep.
Thank you, John.
That's true. There is no-
Thank you, John Stewart.
That's right. And also we have with us Bodine Belasco, and he is a keynote speaker, not only just a regular keynote speaker, he is an award-winning keynote speaker, and also he is a #1 close-at-hand magician.
Yes, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I was waiting for that one. That's a thank you. It's amazing what you can get someone to say if they're not under oath, and you give them a card to read.
Amazing.
I feel like I'm sitting right next to Neil Diamond. Unbelievable. This
I
guy
know.
is amazing.
Well, not only does he look like him, he sounds incredibly
he wakes
like
up
him.
in the morning and he's Neil Diamond right next to
Except
you.
for the
Neil
bank
Diamond.
account.
He is Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond's
know.
not Neil Diamond.
Anybody willing to call themselves majestic, magnificent is also amazing, and we were in the blue-green room
Sometimes
together.
everything is in a name,
So I feel like I'm in over my head, but it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. And as everybody knows, Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show is a variety show because we always have all kinds of people, including our guests. We have guests in our audience today. Hi, guests. So we are live on KLAV weekdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. You can also tune in midnight Monday through Friday on KLAV and 10 p.m. on VegasAllNetRadio.com for those of you who don't listen to the radio
That's right, Sandy. And
but
again,
like to find it online.
I like to say that I want to thank the listeners out there because we went from 30,000 to almost 90,000 in 5. We are
Congratulations.
Oh, my
the
gosh.
Good.
#1 talk radio show in Las Vegas. And when we started, Sandy said, well, we'll start like maybe on a Monday. I says, no, Sandy, we want to start. It's 5 days a week. And now we're going to go to television on Saturday and Sunday. As you can see, we have a great camera crew over here.
That's
That
right.
gets posted
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Hi, Rhett. How you
And
doing?
I want to thank
Yeah.
all the listeners out there. Remember, 731-1230. Pick up a phone. Give me a call. Any recipe you want to know. I'll be glad to tell you an Italian cuisine, and we give you some great show tickets. Johnny Stewart, tell him what we give him.
Oh, we have the Country Superstar Show. We have Mark Savard. We have the Rock Vault over at the LVH. And we have the Beatles. And we have the Divas.
Jeff
and,
Savilico.
And that's Jeff Savilico. and we have Majestic the Magnificent.
Right.
Yeah, you have your show, right?
Absolutely.
You're gonna-
Yeah, everybody, please tune in. I have a TV show called Life with Latoya every Saturday night at 9:30 on the OWN network. Oprah Winfrey signed us on her network for 2 years, and you get to see the magnificent one. You don't want to miss that. I'm telling you.
Magnificent.
That,
that plug just cost you $200.
Yeah, we're going to call Oprah and find out about this. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm in the same room with the legendary Johnny Stewart. You know, he really did write the book.
Listen, I can't believe we're fortunate enough to have him here every day either.
Hey, believe me, it's costing me a fortune.
Johnny Stewart. Okay.
I gotta borrow some money from Walt.
So listen, Michael, every day, just so you know, we start out with a special recipe from Chef Michael. And Chef Michael is a wonderful cook. He's been cooking since the age of whatever. He was a kid, listening to his grandmother, watching his grandmother.
I want to eat some of your food, man.
Yeah. Oh, you do. And you want to come around on June the 21st because we have our WEMA meeting at Canyon Gate Estates, and everybody here is invited. Yes. You got to come because
And,
Chef Michael's going to be
Yeah,
cooking.
I do the cooking. It's $25 per person, open bar, the booze, food, entertainment is spectacular. Every dime.
I would pay $25.
I'm sure you would, brother.
Some of your
That's right. Every dime goes to
WEMA.
Sandy's WEMA charity, which we're very, very excited about.
I think it's dangerous to allow Majestic to come and drink as much as he wants for only $25. It's
Majestic
dangerous.
is all right. Majestic's all right.
That's okay. We have wheelbarrows.
Well, you know, it's funny.
And taxis.
We have a wine cellar with 1,000 bottles of wine, and we got wines from all over the world. And that's why I said this, Sandy, because we used to have it at our country club because we live at Canyon Gate, and they did a wonderful job, don't get me wrong. We love doing it. But the bottom line is they give you a platter, they talked a little bit, they walked out the door. I said, Sandy, let's have it at our estate. Our home is 10,000 square feet. We live right on the 18th hole.
It's actually 9,995 square
Right,
feet.
I
but, you
apologize.
know.
Close
And
enough.
it's absolutely gorgeous, and we have
I
it
went
there,
over.
Walt, and the fun that we have is incredible because the entertainment that we have is spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular, and it's really good, and Rob, you would have a ball coming over.
And speaking of
Yes,
food,
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
what recipe are you going to give us this morning? Because I know that we've got callers out there that want to call in.
Right.
702-731-1230.
Tim, don't look at me like that. I'll punch you right
Yeah,
in
and
the face.
Tim Bowman's here at the
All right.
he's our engineer, and we're going to be losing him soon because he's going to go fight.
Come on, Tim,
Fight.
step up. I'll hit you. Yeah, he fights. When is it? Is it August? August 5th.
That's right.
And you're 5-1, right? 5-1.
That's good.
boy.
This
Wow.
guy-
Yeah, yeah.
You can watch him on YouTube. This kid can hit.
Wow.
This kid's
Good.
good. This kid's going to be the next middleweight
What's that called?
champion.
Good for you, brother. Good for you.
What?
It's at the Abbey in
Mixed
Laughlin,
martial
Right.
arts.
And,
Mixed
The
and
martial
Abbey
in
in
the
arts.
Laughlin?
event, if you lose, work for me as a collector. You'll make a lot of money, kid. Trust me.
So what are you going to prepare for us this
He got
morning?
connections, remember.
Or
He got
tell us
connections.
about preparing.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm right next to Walter Crutchfield.
Yes.
Now, Walt, I know you're a man of great style, great wisdom, and great wealth. But beside all that BS, here's the bottom line. You're sitting in an Italian restaurant. What would you order?
I'd have to read the menu to see what you
Oh, you're great, Walt. You're really bringing the show. No,
Honey, can we move him closer, a
Is
little
there-
bit closer
yes,
to
all
the table here?
I
'Cause
would have to see what your specialty is or what you're really known for. What is your best thing? And I would try that.
How about you like lobster?
Well, I don't put that in Italian food. So-
Frutti di mare is one of the best.
Yeah,
Stuffed
I would
lobster. How about clams, mussels?
Yeah, we would get into all
You
that,
like the
but
mussels?
I would ask the chef to come in and talk, or I would talk to the maitre d', and I would find out what he would recommend, unless I had been going to the restaurant and knowing what I would like.
Well, okay, let's.
So what would
let's-
be your
let's
what would
role
be your
play.
specialty?
Well, my
then?
specialty. Well, I can see if you
Yeah.
like
If he
shrimp,
was
lobster,
asking-
you like seafood, you like chicken, you like steak.
I like seafood.
You like well. First of all, we can start with a shrimp scampi. Okay, you got me in here now.
That's right.
Forgive my back, Walt, because I'm going to look to the
Okay.
TV audience for a shrimp scampi. This is what you do. You go to Smith Food King naturally.
Naturally.
You go back. He's laughing over here. And they got the best shrimp you've ever tasted in your life. They're the jumbo shrimp. Now, here's the key, everybody. Listen good and listen good. You get your shrimp and you peel the shell off. Here's the key to great shrimp scampi. You got to fry the shells in the oil. And what happens is the oil, Johnny, will turn orange. Then you get your shrimp. You fry your shrimp in your garlic. Take the shrimp right out, because if you cook the shrimp too long, it'll be like rubber. You can put it in your shoe if you have a hole in it. Then you add a little bit of salt, a little bit of juice. You can use chicken stock if you like, or clam stock. Be careful with that. You don't want to alter the shrimp taste too much. You add lemon, sherry wine, parsley, a pinch of salt, white pepper or black pepper, and wondra. And you tighten that up, and you pour that over a dish of linguine. Unbelievable. But the key to shrimp scampi is the shells. I bet you never heard that before, did you, Tim?
So you peel them off before you put them in.
Yeah, you peel them off, and then you fry the shells.
Right.
That's my favorite dish.
Is that your favorite dish?
Oh, God.
And that's on a shrimp scampi dish, which is absolutely magnificent. The shells is the key. Now, one more thing. I was talking to somebody earlier today about chicken. I had a lady named Reba Green. She lived with us for years. In those days, she used to clean the houses, and and my family, we loved her. And I used to watch her, and I learned collard greens, sweet potato pie, chitlins, and I learned the culture. Yeah.
You got my attention.
Yes, I know I did. Neck bones. That's why I said I make the neck bone. Are you kidding me, brother? I might be Italian, but I'm black at heart. Okay. Here's the bottom line. You get yourself a bag. I was watching.
We are multicultural here.
Right.
Yes.
And Walt, this is way before
Miscegenation.
shake and bake ever kept. She would turn around and get a brown paper bag, and she'd put flour in the bag.
And shake it up.
She would put salt and pepper and garlic and parsley. Then she would get her chicken and put it in the milk. I used to watch her. I was 10 years old. And she'd shake it up in the bag. Here's the key. She used to have a big Maxwell House coffee can. She always saved the oil that she fried the chicken. When she fried the chicken, she saved the oil. I said, Reba, what do you say? Throw it out. Oh, no, child. She called me child. No, child. She said, that's the flavor. And what happens is you fried that chicken in that same oil, and that's the hook on Southern fried chicken.
All right,
Okay,
all right,
so
great.
don't throw that oil out. It'll never go bad on you.
We're all
Here's
getting
my
really
family
hungry now,
outside.
Michael. All of us. We're all
We can't let
starting.
them in because they'll stink the whole joint of garlic. So that's my two recipes
let's eat.
for today. So
Okay.
remember, 731-1230, Sandy, it's all yours.
That's right. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, and we have a full house today, and we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Call me up. I'll miss you so much.
Already? Hi, and welcome back to the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. Oh my gosh, we've got such a full house. And Bodine Belasco sitting right next to me. And Bodine, you are a speaker, you're an award-winning speaker, but also a magician. I want to know which came first.
Well, actually, what came first was that I studied speech communications at UCLA, and I graduated with 2 degrees in speech communications and social psychology. But when I got out of school, I went on some job interviews in public relations. That's what I thought I was going to do, and I didn't like the job interviews, so I decided I wasn't going to go down that road. And I'm in a restaurant one night wondering what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and a close-up sleight-of-hand magician came into the restaurant on his night off with his girlfriend, and he was sitting at the bar, and he started doing some amazing sleight-of-hand tricks with cigarettes and coins and things, and they comped his drinks and they comped his meal, and he had a crowd of people around him all night long. And I said right then and there, good Lord, if I could learn to do that, I'd be set. I'd be free as a bird. And so...
But then you had to learn how to do the sleight of hand.
Well, I went to the library the next morning. I checked out 11 books on sleight-of-hand
Oh my
magic.
gosh.
And I sold everything I owned, and I moved into a van that I could live in. This wasn't crazy like it is now.
When
way
was
back
this?
then.
When was this?
And I drove up. This was 1975. I
my
drove up
gosh.
to Fisherman's Wharf, where there was a strong tradition of doing street corner magic up there at the cannery down there at Fisherman's Wharf.
Uh-huh.
And I lived in that van and did street corner magic with a hat turned up for nickels and dimes for 2 years.
You learned a lot.
I got really good in 2 years, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
because you have to grab their attention right away.
Yeah, I would be out there with my little hat turned up, and 2 couples would be walking down the sidewalk on the way to Alioto's Fish Restaurant. And I had to stop them and get them to laugh and get them amazed and get some money out of them. And That's at the heart of entertainment. Is that not at the heart
That's
of
right.
entertainment? That's at the...
That's right. Well, that's amazing. And and now you specialize in generative creative process that you said it creates results. And so from learning the magic.
Well, what happened was I
coming
got
all the way
involved
through-
in being a magician. I traveled around the world. I progressed out of that van.
Right.
I lived bent over for a little while there and finally decided I had to have a real life and made some progress, got on TV, did about 12 years traveling around the world as a magician. And then I found corporate banquets. Oh my God, what a market. Right? There's always a corporate luncheon or corporate dinner.
I know probably everybody here in the room has done corporate dates,
my
right?
Lord.
Yeah. How about you? You've done a lot of
Thank the
corporate dates?
Lord for corporate
yeah.
banquets. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. And so I started doing entertainment at corporate banquets, and I was successful at that. And then my clients started to call me and say, I had one client call me, I remember it like it was yesterday. He said, well, we're going to have this big sales meeting, hoo-ha, in Chicago, and we'd like you to come entertain, but can you tell a couple of stories about customer service?
So
And I
that's how
said-
it all
I said,
started.
well, I don't have any stories
Yeah.
about customer service. He said, you got 6 weeks.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
So that's how I got started. I started telling stories, and then I started doing training, and then I decided, well, instead of being an entertainer who tells stories, I'm going to be a speaker who's entertaining.
Well, now you said you moved to Las Vegas because you
Recently.
said you would like to be here and do your work right here in Las Vegas instead of
Well,
having to travel all over the country.
Yeah, I decided that I'd like to do speaking without having to get on a plane.
Yeah.
And
Is-
so,
are there a
this
lot of
is maybe the only
opportunities for that
town where
here?
you can really do that because it's the busiest meeting and event city in North America.
Right, right.
And there's enough work.
All the conventions and-
there's so many meetings and events here. I'll never have to get on a plane if I do my marketing right.
Now, is there a website where people can find out about you?
Oh, yes, there is. It's at BodineBelasco.com, BODINE, BALASCO, and I've got a couple of free things
I was going to
for
say,
people.
I see you have a DVD here.
And I've got a
It says
50-minute...
ideas are the answer.
Ideas are the
Ideas are
answer.
the answer, Rhett.
That's an idea generation process for teams that'll engage people and take an organization to the next level of their success and their revenue.
That's great.
But
so
I have one link I
what?
want to share.
What?
I have one link I want to share, and that's on the generative creative process. And this is a process that will help anybody gain leverage to create results that they want, even in the face of challenging, limiting circumstances. And I have a 50-minute recording that reveals the most important principle yet discovered.
And they can find this on your
They
website?
can find that at creatingresultsaudio.com.
Okay, creatingresultsaudio.com.
And there's no opt-in or anything. That's just, we're here to save the world with the generative creative process.
Well, thank you so much, Bodine, for being on Sandy Kastel and Friends. It's great to have you here, and I know we'll bring up some more about that later, okay?
My pleasure to
Thank
be rubbing
you.
shoulders with you and Johnny and all these high-powered celebrities and amazing people.
And Chef Michael.
Oh, of course. I'm putting shrimp shells in everything that I cook now.
Well, I got to tell you, Bodine, Michael, the other day, we had a party over at Carl and Lisa Grasso's.
Oh, I know they're listening right
It
now.
was their
Stop
barbecue.
counting your money, Carl.
That's right. And Michael played a little bit on the piano, and then he said, somebody brought a card deck, and then he said, okay, everybody gather around. And then he sat there and started amazing people with some card tricks there, right, in front of everybody. So,
My.
Chef Michael.
Yes, I'm
Chef
here.
Michael.
I'm here. I'm just looking at how beautiful you are, and I'm in amazement.
Oh, thank you. But anyway, so,
Hey, who said that?
well, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. Chef, do you?
Yes.
So now I know you brought Mr. Crutchfield here today
Yes.
because you said I know you had talked to him a few times about some different projects that he's been working on, right?
Yes,
do you
I
wanna,
have.
Does he want to tell us a little bit about those?
Well, let me introduce Walter.
Yeah, why don't you-
Crutchfield. Walter, when I say he's the last of the Mohicans, it's such a pleasure to have him here. Because Walt is an entrepreneurial giant. Okay? He's the type of guy that's behind the scenes. He was here when Mo Dalitz was in Las Vegas and Bugsy Siegel and that whole regime of people. Walt's a very intelligent, very smart, very intuitive, am I saying that correctly? Right word?
Intuitive.
Intuitive businessman, and I have the utmost respect. There's only a few idols I have in my lifetime. People that I looked up to. Frank Bragley is one of them, who was the greatest businessman I've ever met in my life, and he taught me how to cut with a stiletto because I used to hit with an axe years ago, metaphorically speaking, when it comes to business. Walter Crutchfield is in that realm. and we can do an hour and a half just on Walter Crutchfield's. But in the few minutes
Or
that
the
we have to
stiletto.
spend with Walt, Walt, introduce yourself, and you can tell these 90,000 people that are out there listening, okay, all that you do and what you have done.
Well, I came here in 1959. I was from Washington, D.C., and it was cold. I came out here, and I really like Las Vegas. I mean, unfortunately, I don't gamble, and that's a big thing for the city, but maybe I'm the biggest winner of all because of the years I've been here. I've just been very successful. I've met a lot of nice people. I've seen Las Vegas come from probably 50,000 people, 14 to casinos, to maybe 2 million people and maybe 20,000 casinos. And it's just a great city to live in and be around the people. And unfortunately, it went through a recession period, but every hotel that was started on in reconstruction that stopped doing it in '08 or '09 or '07, they've all started back to reconstruction except for the Fontainebleau. But something's going to happen with that, with the all the other hotels. Las Vegas is coming back. People don't realize it, but last year Las Vegas had its biggest tourist business year that they have ever had, and I don't think they're capitalizing on that enough. And the hotels on the strips are doing great. Maybe because they're all organized now. Years back it was owned by individuals. Today I think 3 groups own all the hotels on the strip, and good, bad, or indifference. I think you could get people to speak good about that or bad about it, but they do have great management.
Really? Well, let me ask you a question, if I may, with your permission, Sandy. And I don't want to put Walt on the spot. It's always those guys like that are very humble, you know, like a true mobster. A true mobster never, I'm not saying he is, but a true mobster, he never.
He's disconnected, don't
he's
forget, disconnected.
True mobster is never boisterous. Like my grandfather used to say, any man who shows his money has none. When guys come out with that big roll, they got nothing. Watch the guys that only have maybe $20 in their pocket. Well, how come you never bought a hotel? Because you were opulent enough to buy. You could have bought the Sands. You could have bought any hotel in Las Vegas. You could have cut a check right on the spot and bought it. Why did you never do that? I was always wondering.
When I came here, my brother had a linen business, and he put all the linen in the hotels. And like I said, I don't smoke. I don't like working inside. I don't like to be around that. It's not my thing in life. I've never had an interest in it.
So you would never, but you never really wanted to buy some hotel because you could have done it if you.
I've had a dozen restaurants in town and things like that, but I never wanted to get into a big hotel thing. It's not my thing to go out and manage maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people working. I mean, I'm a one-on-one person.
You know,
Michael, I thought you mentioned that he had a collection, an art collection that he was thinking of doing
yes,
something
I'm
with.
glad that you brought that up because
Yeah.
he called me not too long ago.
Right.
And Dorothy Dandridge.
Who?
I'm sorry, not Dorothy Dandridge. I'm thinking of the other girl you mentioned from Paris. You have
Josephine Baker.
Josephine Baker. Right.
Josephine, he has a.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the?
Yeah, I have a non-profit thing for Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker was the first black lady to get into white entertainment. Unfortunately, Herbert Hoover, our FBI director, framed her, sent her to prison. She started a Rainbow Foundation for 14 different children. She had black ones, blue ones, green ones, every color you could imagine.
Right.
And she went to Paris, and she became a great big hit.
Right.
And very few people know it, but she was a spy for the United States government in World War II. I mean,
Wow.
and this lady should be a legend, and they should really castrate Hoover for what he did to this lady. I mean,
Well, you
Well,
can't-
he's gone.
He's gone now.
So they
Hoover-
can't do that.
yeah, but the FBI should come out and put an apology out.
Yeah.
President Obama or somebody, because this lady was just such a great lady and ahead of her time.
But you have a collection now of all these paintings that are done of Josephine Baker.
Yes, by a painter. When he was 16, he was the first one that ever painted her,
Uh-huh.
and his name was Cotty. And
Cotty?
we're going to talk to Michael about having an auction for her.
Okay, great.
And the paintings that we have. Plus, we have some Paiute Indians that he had painted that we should also bring into the picture.
Well, we'd love to do that because, as you know, Women in Music and Arts, we're all about supporting the arts and also empowering artists of all ages and raising money for scholarships for students of the arts. Yes, Michael?
We were affiliated with Jolet. We just did a big production show. He's one of the greatest artists since Monet and Salvador Dali.
He's wonderful, yes.
In fact, he's bringing $500,000 in art just to display in our home because his art pieces are like 12 feet 16 feet long, 8 feet high. It's all abstract art. It's absolutely beautiful. And I said to Sandy this morning, we got a place. Let's open up our own art gallery, because there's a few art galleries, but there's no place for artists. I'm not talking about singing artists, but artists
Right.
to display their work.
Right.
And we have a place on Sahara, and I said, let's just grab it, open it up. It would be fantastic, and I'm
this is
excited
one of
about
our
it.
goals,
But we
yeah.
will talk about that, and I
Yeah.
want to put you on the spot right now, because I'm proud of your age, because you're still out there doing it at 51 years old. I'm proud of your age. Did I mention your age or no?
Go ahead. I don't care. I'm proud of my age.
How old are you?
87.
87
All
years
right,
old.
all right, yay.
87 years old, Johnny. And this man is just incredible. And my future love of my life just went like this. I mean, she says it's time to take a
That
break.
means it's time to tell everyone. This is the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, and we are here every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on KLEV, and we have a full house today. So come right back after a message from our sponsors.
Don't forget, I'm waiting for you. 731-1230. Call me, please.
Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas with your neon flash.
We're gonna ride till there ain't no more to go, taking it slow. Lord, don't you know, I'll have me a time with the poor man lady, bitching on the twilight train. Ain't nothing here that I care to take along, maybe a song.
Hi, and welcome to the Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. Oh my gosh, we have a full house, and it just got fuller because Steve Connolly just joined us. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
How you doing, man? It feels good to be alive.
I bet.
Good morning. What time is it?
Good morning.
Oh, my God.
9 a.m.
And I'm all dressed up and ready to go.
You are.
Man.
Well, listen, we're going to have you play a little something for us a little bit later, but right now we've got a caller on the phone, so we got to take Evan Davis. Hi, Evan. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome back to Las Vegas.
Thanks. I mean, the reason I'm calling is that I was in Italy and I just got back, and I tried probably a dozen different restaurants and tried their meatballs in every one, and still haven't found a meatball that can compare to Chef Michael's recipe.
Oh. How much did you pay him for that plug, Michael?
Yeah, baby.
Send them a check.
Well, Evan Davis is our very special friend. In fact, Evan, if you go to Smith, Shopping at Smith's at YouTube, you'll see Evan Davis.
And Sandy.
And Sandy is a beautiful, lovely wife. And they're in the commercial with us. And we went back to our home, and we prepared, we did the television shot right out of our house, which was absolutely great. And Sandy, tell everybody Evan Davis has the #1 jazz blog
He
in Las
does.
Vegas.
Evan Davis always supports the arts, and by doing that, what he does is all of the artists send him, any of the events that they're going to be doing. And Rob, you do that all the time. We send him all our stuff.
Absolutely.
And Evan posts it on his blog, and so a lot of people read that blog, and he's been even surprised at all the people that recognize him when he goes out places. Right, Evan?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, we're happy, Evan, that
But
a
it's-
fellow
but it's
lunchman
okay.
has got a good job.
What'd you say, Evan?
I said it was a little embarrassing when sometimes people recognize me in that respect, but yeah, I put a calendar out on my music blog, and anyone can go check it out at evandavisjazz.com and see what's happening on the local scene.
That's right. And also, you book different acts into certain places. I know that.
Yes.
At the Mad Greek
Yep.
and at the is it Barrymore, Club Barrymore? Or
Yeah, different places.
the Italian American Club, all kinds of different places.
You never
Yeah,
booked me,
well-
Evan. You son of a... You never booked me, you dirty...
I can't afford you.
You're right, pal. I'm very expensive. Me and Sandy, we are a high-ticket item.
He's planning a
Yeah,
meatball
there's a lot of
for you.
hey, there's a lot of good things going on at this new place called the Viva Las Vegas Event Center.
Yeah.
It's sort of a nightclub atmosphere, and you really need to check that place out too. It's on
beautiful.
the north end of the strip.
Yeah.
Well, we love you, pal. We thank you for calling. That plug just cost you $200.
Thanks a lot, Evan,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
we'll see you soon. Okay.
Okay, take
Thanks,
care.
And welcome back to Vegas.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, well, I've got Rob Garrett sitting here, and Rob has been doing a tribute act to Neil Diamond for many years. And I just want to know, how did you ever start doing that? Was it something that you were singing like Neil Diamond, or
I actually had a band here in Vegas.
had a natural, thing like that?
I was kind of working my way up to it without unknowingly, because I
Yeah.
had a band here in Vegas for 15 years called
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Heaven, and we started in the bars, went to the clubs and lounges, and because Neil Diamond was always one of my favorites, I did a quote impression of him in my show with my band. And I used to hear for many, many years, my God, when you sing Neil Diamond songs, you sound just like him, and there was a show here in town, Johnny knows, called Legends in Concert.
Yeah, where's Johnny?
Johnny.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
And after hearing for so many years people say, you should try out for that show, in 1995, I auditioned for it. I would have hoped to gotten the job here because that's where I lived, but someone had seniority over me at the time, and I was a newbie. So, and I was a newbie at the time, and I got sent. I know you're going to feel awful for me, but they sent me to Hawaii for 3 years.
You poor thing.
Yeah.
But he looks great in a hula skirt.
Yeah. He's one of the few people that can actually say that.
Well, and I know you've been doing this. I've seen you over at a lot of different locations, but you have a new show coming up that you've been
This Saturday
a big
night?
show. Yes.
Yeah, very big show at the Dallas Event Center of the Texas Station.
Yeah.
It's a 1,500 seat room, so I'm real excited. Yeah, real excited about that. Normally I've done the Cannery, which is 600, and we've done South Point, but this is probably here locally in Las Vegas for me doing our show, the biggest room we worked so far.
And so being a tribute artist like that, how was it? Did you start watching his moves so you could get them down perfectly? I mean, and I know Neil Diamond songs. The one thing that's really good about his songs is they build. They build,
Very much
and they
so.
build,
Yeah.
and so they're wonderful showstoppers. But the problem is every single song is like that, So how do you know when the show's ending and when it's starting?
Well, not really, because his rock and roll song, his ballads are like that. He's the king of dynamics.
Yeah.
And he'll start off soft and then build, like you say.
Right.
But not so much the rock songs. But in my case, it's just like being an actor. It's no different than maybe Joaquin Phoenix playing Johnny Cash. You study your character.
Right.
And you watch videos, and I'm sure every tribute act is different, but
Right.
I was really serious about it, and I watched hours, and still to this day I'm watching videos and listening to little nuances, vocal inflections, and so forth.
So how much of your personality comes through when you're up on stage and doing Neil Diamond?
Well, once I take the stage, once I actually take the stage, very little of my personality comes through because, again, I'm in character.
Right.
So there may be similarities between our personalities, but I'm pretty much overwhelmed by his personality. Maybe 5% of my own, but it's pretty much all him up there.
Is there any other artist that you've ever thought about singing like or paying tribute
Not singing
to?
like, but when I was in my group, my band, I would do impressions, and there were certain ones. I did Elvis. I was able to do an Elvis.
Did you know he
impression.
was doing
Yeah,
you?
he was doing me, but it was from behind. Wait.
Oh, hey, whoa! This is an early morning
believe
show.
Did you really say that?
Oh,
Okay.
did he go to? I can't believe Elvis said that, man.
So
That
is there
was
a
all right.
is there a
That's not
website where
crazy.
people
I
can
can't believe
find?
it was a good.
Excuse me, Elvis. Is there a
Can't stop him.
website where they can find out more about your shows, Neil? Neil.
Yeah, my own website. It's NeilDiamondTheTribute.com.
Well, that's great. Now, I have a question for you coming from WEMA, Women in Music and Arts. Now, and for all of you who wonder about that, Women in Music and Arts was formulated by women, but we have men in the organization, too.
I didn't know that.
Yes, of course
I had
we
no
do.
idea.
So one of our main things is we like to find out and try to help artists understand the business of being an artist, because obviously you can sing great, you can dance great, you can do all these things great, but if you're not able to do the business part of it, you may be sitting around your home doing these things, instead of going out, right?
That's very true.
So what tips would you give to a new artist starting out, whether they're a tribute artist or a regular artist? It doesn't matter.
Well, I would say, first of all, you have to be into it 125%. If there's any doubt or you're not ready to go into this, with both barrels and put full time and so forth, then just get out of it, because even once you put 110%, there's still a slight chance you might make it. So it's something you have to want to do more than anything else in the world. You can't see yourself doing anything else, and that's that's my advice.
Well,
to
that's
people.
great advice. I know it's perseverance, 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 right?
Times 100.
Because you're going to be told. You got to know. You're going to be told no, 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 no.
Many
a lot
times,
more times
yeah.
than you get the yeses. And then, of course, once the yeses start coming, then they come more and more. So your website again?
Neil Diamond, The Tribute.
The
NeilDiamondTheTribute.com.
And your show is this weekend?
Texas Station, Dallas Event Center at 8 p.m.
Okay, great. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Rob, for being a guest here on Sandy Kastel and
I had a
Friends. I
great
really
time.
appreciate
love
you
you,
coming
Rob.
out
I'm not
again.
going anywhere yet.
No, I know. You're here. Chef, you had... whose phone is on,
Oh my
Steve?
gosh,
Okay, Elvis.
Elvis again.
Easy, Elvis. The key to the success of this show, and like Sandy's saying, you have to have an army to win a war. When Jon Stewart jumped aboard, John just came in as a guest the first day, never thinking at all that he would even be interested in doing anything like that. And the Chef Michael character, came up. Because I'm
And
really
what a character he is.
Yes, I'm really a quiet guy. I'm very, very humble and quiet.
It's really hard to get him out of his shell.
I can tell.
And no, I'm serious. And it's such a pleasure because you have to have an army to win a war. And when John jumped aboard, and Sandy and myself, and let's not forget Don Usherson, because Don's in the wings, ready to jump
That's
in
right.
when we hit the television show. And I'm sorry, you say something, Sam?
No, I'm just
Oh, we have a
We
minute.
got-
we have
yeah.
a minute before we go to commercial night, and I want to thank. And I say it humbled not because Walter Crutchfield's here, but Walt has. There's nobody that owns more gold mines in Las Vegas, Nevada, than this man right here. Gold mines, okay. And I get a kick from him to say, I got a chain. How much is it an ounce? What do you got? Like 60 billion tons of gold out there. God bless you. I can get a little cross or something like that. What, honey? I'm sorry.
Well, I just want to say we've got a full house here.
Full house.
I mean, and it's so great to have everybody here. We've got Majestic Magnificent, which we haven't had a chance to talk to. Magnificent. Majestic.
I'm still here.
How are you? Get on that microphone. Now, I'm just going to give you a little intro, then we're going to take a break, and I'm going to come right back to you. But I know that you've been, sponsoring, you've been helping out the Jacksons a lot, promoting them. Tell us what they've got coming up next.
Well, the main thing is the Brothers is on tour, which I think everybody know about.
The Jacksons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to promote my TV show. I need more ratings. We are number 2 on the Oprah Winfrey Network called Life with LaToya. Every Saturday at 9:30. This is our second season. And if I can go 4 or 5 seasons, I can make some Kim.
So you want us to come on your show, right?
Huh? But,
You said
yeah,
you wanted more ratings.
I want to do something for him, though.
For Tim?
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll
definitely.
appreciate this.
You got to have him.
I'm the greatest of all times. I'm knocking out all bums. Joe Frazier, Ken Norton. I can whoop them out because I'm a bad man and I'm pretty. Who is that, man? The greatest of all time.
Ali.
Rocky Marciano.
The greatest
And
of
I
all
saw
time.
him
Rocky
live.
Marciano,
Yes, I
Rope-a-dope,
did.
Rope-a-dope.
That's right. It was amazing. You know what? Well, all right. We're going to be right back with you, Majestic, after this break from our sponsors. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show.
Yay! Mannaggia America quando sta sera.
Okay.
Morning fever all through the night.
Hi, welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends. We've got a song here from...
Well, since my baby left me, oh, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street, Heartbreak Hotel. I feel so lonely, baby. Well, I'm so lonely. Oh, I'm so lonely. I could die. Don't kill me, though, baby.
Wow. Well, that is Steve Connolly. And he definitely has the spirit of the king inside of him. I see here the Best of Las Vegas on your card. And where are you performing next?
Well, I'm currently doing the Four Queens downtown. I'm at the Four Queens hanging out with the Rat Pack at the Broadway Rat Pack show. I've been doing that for the past couple of months. But pretty soon you'll see me in a steady show like I've had. I've done over 4,500 ticketed shows in Las Vegas without going through the history. But my Spirit of the King show, Steve Connolly, all over the world, Russia, Korea, China. But what I started doing a few years ago was painting while I'm singing. Johnny, who paints when he sings?
You do a portrait of a king.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I know
crazy.
we're gonna have you back on next week, and I know you do the painting. I want to see that. I want to be able to get it on film.
Can I send you a link and you post it on but I paint
Yes.
and sing at the same time?
No, we want to see you do
In
it
10
live.
minutes. Let's do it
We want to
live.
have you come to the WEMA event and do it for our our WEMA girls
I wanna do
and
it.
gentlemen.
Yes, yes, Steve.
Okay,
We met
great.
those girls.
You got to see what I do when I'm rolling meatballs. So I'm
Hey,
telling
hey.
you.
Me and you got an act. We'll work together. You bring the balls. I'll bring the paint. We'll get a gun.
And I'll bring the tarp because that'll be kind of messy.
How exciting.
So I wanted majestic, magnificent. I know we were started talking a little bit about what you do,
Yes.
and you've got your TV show, and you want to
Yes.
promote it more. It's number 2 on the Oprah channel. Oh
Yes.
my gosh! Did Oprah approach you about this show?
She approached Latoya and signed up for 2 years
Latoya,
straight.
yes. Okay.
So it was good. It was good. We went and got 2 years out of the can. First and second season.
Wow.
So
Well,
it
what
started
was it?
airing June 7th. The second season started, the first episode, June 7th at 9:30 on the Oprah Network.
Well, I think everybody wants to know, what is it like to work with Latoya?
Yes.
Very, very interesting. She's not like people think she is. She's an entrepreneur. She created the show. She has, oh my God, what can I say? So many businesses that people don't know about. She's very intelligent, very
We
intelligent.
must have her on the show, Sandy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let her on our show.
He's already told me he's going to bring Joe Jackson on the show.
Oh, Joe's our very special friend. We love Joe.
I can make that happen.
We love Joe.
The most incredible thing for me, though, was working with her brother
Uh-huh.
for 32 years.
Yeah.
Michael, I do what you do, I was Michael's personal magician. Magic,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, and I do mentalism and magic. Bob Cassidy, my hero. You know
love
Bob
Bob
Cassidy?
Cassidy.
Oh, the
Oh,
best.
man.
Yes. And I started doing magic when I was 7. I lived with Muhammad Ali for 5 years, and I lived with the Jacksons for 15. And Muhammad Ali introduced me to Michael, and the rest is history. And we became friends and stayed 32 years, all the way up until he died. But the thing is this is what I want to say. Michael Jackson was the most generous human being I ever met in my life. He gave $300 million to charity, but y'all don't hear about that. But I'm just saying, he was an incredible human being,
Well, that's wonderful. That's
Yeah, I'm good. I just want to say something about my boy.
What would you say is your most memorable experience?
With Michael?
Yes.
One of my most memorable experiences with Michael, people talk about Michael's heart. I'm going to tell you something that's going to mess you up. We walking in the backyard of the Havenhurst mansion, and I hear a whimper, and I look back, and Michael's crying. I said, Michael, what's wrong? He said, look there. There's a little baby bird on the ground. He says to me, you want to say a prayer over the bird or bury the bird? I said, I ain't touching no dead bird. And he said, Michael climbed up in the tree, fixed the nest, picked up the bird, buried the bird, said a prayer over the bird. He said, come on, let's go do some magic. We would have stepped over that bird and kept going. Never
Well,
looked at it.
well, I think the thing of it is the public sees what the public sees, and they don't always get to see the insights, that you get to
Right.
see when you're working that closely with somebody,
Right.
and obviously he gave a lot, and he gave
Yeah,
back to
he
the
gave-
community a lot.
he
so,
gave a lot, yeah.
So that's great, and it's so good to have you here on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing your show.
Thank you so much
Yes,
for
on
having
the
me. I
Oprah channel.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Any
And
help,
Latoya.
any help I can beat you all, Johnny, no.
Johnny.
Let me tell you something. Being with Michael for 30-some years,
Right.
I know everybody. When I say everybody.
Everybody.
All came to Neverland Ranch.
Everybody.
Everybody loves somebody.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Majestic.
Everybody falls in love.
We have so many great artists. Steve, you want to sing another song?
Yeah, baby, let's do it. man.
Okay.
I like
As
that. You
we're-
sing some more,
okay.
man. I like that.
Right now,
Yeah, right now.
well, there's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now. Go, cat, go, but don't you ever my blues wish you. Well, you do anything, but they all my blues wish you. Sing it, boy, sing it. Now you can knock me down, stamp on my face, slander my name all over the place. Now do anything that you want to do. Well, honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you stamp on my blues wish you. I hear you, son, I hear you. Lord, you do anything, but lay off of my blues wish you. Sing with me, baby. Well, that's a blue, my blues suede shoes. A blue, my blues suede shoes, baby. Blue, blues suede shoes. A blue, my blues suede shoes. Oh, you do anything, but lay off of my blues suede shoes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Steve Connolly. Oh my gosh.
Take it home.
Well, this is Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. And we are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday here on KLAV. And we just want to thank all of our guests today. And I'm sorry I don't have like 2 more hours to talk to everybody, but we can always have you back on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone. We've got Rob Garrett. We've got Majestic Magnificent. We've got Walter Crutchfield. Thank you, Walter. We've got, yeah, I know, Steve Connolly, and we've got Bodine Velasco. So, and Johnny Stewart and Chef Michael. And Tim, thank you so much for being here and taking good care of us, okay? And Rhett.
And Sandy, I want you to know that Walter just whispered in my ear. He said, Mike, I got a pick and a shovel for you and Sandy. You can dig all you want. Keep all
And
the
Leah,
gold.
right.
Can't wait. Come on, Johnny.
We'll see you tomorrow morning here on Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Golden meatball.